founder of Roses Without Thorns, Inc. And today we're going to be talking about relationships, love, and mental health. Um, Before we begin, I would like to thank God and I'd like to thank my special guests for taking time out of their busy schedule to meet with us today to go over relationship, love, and mental health. I'd like to start in alphabetical order. So, Claudel, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey guys, my name is Claudel. I'm an entrepreneur for over 9 years in the US. I'm also a counselor. We have so many couples with relationship situation issues. So I'm very happy to be part of this beautiful moment, and I'm hoping that we're going to share some good information with our viewers.
All right, perfect. Demetrius.
My name is Demetrius Dune. I work in the cruise industry, multimedia producer doing photography and content creation. Basically travel around the world, capturing content to market destinations.
Perfect. And Josh?
Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh Jean. I'm from South Florida. I actually am a investor. I trade in the foreign exchange market, cryptocurrency market, commodities. Overall entrepreneur. I have a few different projects and things that I do, but that's my main gig, so to speak. So that's me. It's good. I'm glad to be here as well. So I appreciate you just opening up this door for us to share from the man's perspective.
Yeah, thank you.
Amen. Well, thank you guys so much. I'd like to start it off soft. The first question, I'm going to start off with Demetrius. What stand out about a woman and what actually made you wanted to approach, because you're married, so what made you wanted to approach your wife? And it's actually a two-part question. What made you, after you approach her and ask her out on a date, what made you want to continue on with that second and third date?
Wow. Okay. Well, that's a deeper question than you probably think. Well, the biggest thing that motivated me was that I was out of a relationship. Was dating someone, and that person decided to go with someone else. I was heartbroken, and I was actually not interested in dating at all. I'm part of a church, and I was part of it, and still part of a singing ministry. And the ministry leader was a person I trusted, and he mentioned to me, my now wife was interested in meeting me. So he recommended me to meet her. So I was like, nah, man, I'm not trying to meet anybody right now, And he was like, no, I really think you ought to take her out on a date and get to know her. So I did. Took a chance. And to answer further, once we went out on the first date, I found out she was amazing. I mean, that just took one time. We were married within 6 months of us meeting, but first, second, and third, I mean, of course, she's beautiful, inside and out. She loves God. She's spiritual. That's top on my list. The relationship with God. And the other thing that was top on the list is I was a single father at the time, and she took an immediate interest in my daughter, and it was very sincere. She actually bought her a Noah's Ark little dress. My little girl was about 3 years old at the time, and just the fact she did that, I was like, okay, I'm open to getting to know her more, and the more I found out her seriousness about God, and the more that I found out that she was just fun and just with a different person than I was, I wanted to get to know her more and more. So we've been married for, this year will be 23 years. So I'm still getting to know her, and it's still good. So if that answers the question.
Yes, it does. Thank you. And what about you, Josh? What would make you actually, approach a girl and then want to continue on with a second and third date?
So for me, my situation is slightly different. Slightly. I actually am happily single, so I am not necessarily in a relationship at the moment. But obviously, I've been in a relationship. So, and from my perspective, it has to be a genuine connection. I'm not, me with my personal relationship, and I'll just put it out there. I am a believer. So, with my belief system, with God, I focus on what it is that I know that He's told me to do. That's actually the season I'm in right now, just focusing on what it is that He's told me to do. And, I believe that when it's time to connect with the person that I'm meant to be with, that He will show me. So when that does happen, obviously, I believe that it'll be a genuine connection and a genuine friendship. I think that friendship is important, and a friendship and a connection that doesn't necessarily not based on titles and not having to have a title to have a connection, but having a genuine, pure connection, whether we're, together in a more intimate relationship or not. And if I can find that, there's a genuine connection, genuine friendship, and, it proceeds further, then that's definitely something that would allow me to, further explore just building a genuine relationship with that person without any intentions or titles, and then, continuing to grow on that until it eventually becomes a beautiful thing,
Awesome. And what about you, Claudel?
Well, I want to support what Josh was saying because I'm the type of person, I love brain stimulation. At first, I know a lot of guys, they love beauty, they love face, beautiful face and stuff. But as for me, like, I don't really the type of guy where I would see someone by face and I would go by and say, oh my God, she's beautiful and I'm attracted. The first thing I focus about is get to know the person inside. I mean, I love smart conversation and I love a female that can talk to me, and she has to be she has to be open-minded, where when we talk, we have to flow, you know what I'm saying? So at first, I will ask smart questions to make sure that, she's at the level where, we can have a very smart conversation. So the attraction for me is all about how we interact, how we talk. You know what I'm saying? The type of conversation we can have, the type of discussion, the type of topics we can elaborate. Like I said, I'm a free spirit. If I meet someone, it doesn't matter how pretty or how attractive you could be physically, but for me, it's all about how we can flow, because I believe in spiritual connection as well. I believe in chemistry. It's not just like, the physical appearance, the physical attraction, but I'm kind of the type of guy where before I get into the physical attraction, I want to make sure that, I can feel the person spiritually, where spiritually I feel connected. Like if I'm not feeling that connection, for me, it's just like, I'm not saying it's a turn off, but I'm not interested if we cannot have really proper conversation, communication, not just communication, understanding, because sometimes you can communicate but people don't understand. So we have to make sure when we communicate we also understand each other, because sometimes people can talk, we don't understand each other. But communication and understanding, those two words for me in conversation, they are very sexy about a woman, and that's what I'm training.
Okay, that's good. The next question is, do you believe that within a few months, the first few months, that you would know this is the one? And I'm going to start off with Claudel.
Well, to be honest with you, just to answer this question, it depends. It depends how those two they met and how they're very real to each other. Because some people, they have some hiding qualities, they have some hiding secret, and especially when people they want to be with you, they will hide some stuff until you get to know them, or until you guys start living together. So after a few experiences in my life, I don't believe right now, I don't believe few months is enough for me to get, into a relationship with someone. For me, right now, the position where I'm at, I want to have like at least 2 years dating someone, get to know you, deeply, and make sure, we build that friendship. Because I believe in friendship. Because in a relationship, if we don't have friendship, it's a waste of time. So I want to make sure we build that friendship where we really make sure we know what we want. And we have to be clear to each other saying, hey, this is what I want, because we are not kids. We have to be able to have that clear conversation where we said, hey, what we stand for, what are we about? Are we about commitment? Are we about friendship, or are we about getting to know each other? So for myself right now, this level, for me, to be honest with you guys, a few months is not really enough for me to say, hey, we're in a commitment relationship. I need time right now to get to know someone. I mean, I'm not judging no one who just jump in a relationship after a few months, but as far as me, after my experiences, is, it's not, you might think you know someone in just a few months, but some people, like I said earlier, they will hide some stuff because they feel attracted by you just to get to you, just to be with you. But right after they are with you, they start going to show you their true color. So I would like to have somebody that really open-minded, gonna tell me, hey, you know what, this is who I am, this is what I stand for. Are you accepting me? Yes or no? But not everybody really open to talk like this and to tell you the truth at first. So if you're not, and especially when you start asking questions and the person is not responding, and the person is putting you on wait, hey, that's a red flag for me. So if I'm asking a question, I'm not getting answers, and you're gonna keep telling me wait, 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 I'm gonna wait. But guess what? The wait, has a time limit. So yeah, a few months is not enough for me to be with someone.
Okay. And what about you, Josh?
So for me personally, I feel like it definitely is based on situation. And because every situation is different, I've seen God be the master matchmaker and people meet and then they just know immediately that, this is the one. I've seen people who it takes, a few years and, they realize later on. But so I think it definitely is dependent on the situation, the relationship. Some people, I actually met a couple who they've known each other for 17 years as friends. And when they started, it didn't take long for them to know that, they wanted to be with each other. They know each other already. So, really was just a few, like a month or two before they decided to go ahead and tie the knot. But I just think it really depends on the situation and the individual relationship. And I can go into further detail if you want me to, but, that's my broader response to that specific question.
Okay, and thank you. And what about you, Demetrius?
Yeah, I think everything these guys have said is accurate. It always depends on the situation. I will add, I think that it's almost like I think the maturity level of the people is a factor. If they're young, super young people and they really haven't thought about the relationship being long term, someone that's been in an experience where they've been on a lot of little relationships, dated here and there, and then all of a sudden they want to get married, may not have invested the time. They may not be mature enough to really think long term. This is the person that I'm marrying, and I'm going to be married to them till we die, and that's not going to end in this lifetime. If you think long term, if the two people are thinking long term and they're mature people and they're really, as was said earlier, they're honest and they're very transparent and clear about what they're interested in. A few months does seem really short. I mean, I feel like I mentioned, my wife and I, we got married in about 6 months. I felt like that was a relatively short period of time, but we knew each other well enough. We both had experienced life in a deep way, and we were both very transparent about ourselves. And we also got mature people who had been married way longer than we have to get involved, to kind of help us, guide us, to make sure that we were clear on what it was that we were getting into. That was also really helpful. So you got all that help and some thinking, some wisdom, and some input. I think that you could you probably could get married in short term, but in general speaking, it's the shorter. It's kind of those people that get married in the movies because they just met them at a party and just decided to get married. I mean, it's just it's just crazy. So that's what I think.
If I would have something about what Josh was saying, Josh was saying about some people, they could be friends for a long time, but after when they get together, things doesn't work. But let me just add something. Life is all about interest. Most of the time when a relationship start getting going to waste because some people, you're losing interest in each other. So if you're with somebody, you're not being creative and there's no attraction, and we're just doing the same thing over and over. And I mean, we are human. I mean, we have interest in each other. If we start losing interest in each other, it doesn't matter how long we've been together, friends. If we are friends, we are cool, we are fine. But when we start getting together and then things start changing, of course, there's going to be a big gap, between, in a relationship. So I do believe, it's all about interest. If we are together, the same things we used to do when we were together, we have to make sure we become more creative. When we are friends, sorry, we have to be more creative when we get together, because now we become couple. We have to come up with some kind of strategies to make sure that we still attract to each other. Because if we don't have that attraction, similar attraction, it's not gonna work. Like I said, yes, some people can get together really fast, but for me, the normal way, you should take time to get to know the person. Like you said, very transparent about your communication, conversation, and make sure that we are black and white. We know exactly what we are doing, what we want, and we make it happen.
So it's about building a foundation to you. Is that correct, Claude? You have to build a foundation first before you actually know that.
Yeah, make sure, like Turn was saying, it's all about maturity. We know exactly what we want. At first, you have to tell the person, hey, what do you want from me? And another thing, you have to put your boundaries. You have to set your boundaries. You have to put your requirements. I mean, you have to know what you stand for. You know what you want, because sometimes people come to you. The fact that you don't tell them your requirements, they're not gonna be open. They're not gonna tell you, who they are. But by asking questions, when you ask smart questions, and if you're not getting answers, trust me, this is a red flag, because the person that really want to be with you, you will feel that connection. You will feel that the chemistry. You're gonna feel like the person is very care about you to answer all type of question you have, because this is the only way you're gonna get to know your partner is by asking questions.
Mm-hmm. All right, I want to switch it up a little bit. Would you date like a broke woman, or does money play a huge factor in picking a woman to date them? Let's start off with Claudel.
You start with me again.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking about broke. You're talking about financially.
Yes, someone that's not financially stable, like say they're living at home with their parents. Probably they're working at McDonald's. Would you date someone like that, or someone that's?
I'm a visionary. Like I said, the moment I feel that chemistry and I feel the connection with my partner, and I see my partner, she has big dreams, goals and vision. Where she's at, this is not where she want to stay. I wouldn't mind to date a broke woman, because I've done it before. I've been in past relationship where my partners, they didn't have anything, and I've struggled to help them out. Right now, even though we're not together, they keep saying thank you, Claudel, because of you. I'm in the position where I'm at right now. Not the reason why we broke up, not because of financial situations or the things, but as for me, I don't mind dating someone as long that you have dreams, you have goals, you have vision, and I mean, the moment you show me you want to accomplish a lot, I wouldn't mind to take your hand, to grab your hand, and fly with you. I will even put you on my back, saying that, hey, let's fly together. I've done it before, and I'm proud of my exes, a lot of them. But some of them, if the person is not willing to change, if the person is not willing about, like, to get to know, grow financially and build something, it'll be hard for me to stay with you. But I don't mind starting with you, even though you're broke. But one condition, you have to be willing to improve yourself financially with dreams, goals, and vision.
Perfect. And what about you, Josh?
So I guess I'm gonna start with my my personal definition of dating. Not necessarily my definition, but like the way I look at dating is the time and place for two to gather data about each other. That's what I believe dating should be for, gathering data. And when you're gathering data, you definitely, the two parties have to be clear about certain places where they stand, their intentions, where they expect to be going. So in that phase, I definitely do believe that I wouldn't mind dating someone who is not necessarily where they want to be financially, but notice I say not necessarily where they want to be. And like Claudel was stating, you know, they have a desire for something greater than where they're at, because money to me is just a tool. It's not necessarily a God. So if they understand that, you know, their purpose and they're working towards that, then, you know, money is going to be a byproduct of the activity that they're doing. But if there's no activity or no desire for purpose, you know, you can tell a lot about a person, but this is something that has to be definitely exposed and spoken about transparently. You know, if the two are mature, like Demetrius mentioned, because you do have to be mature and, you know, not playing games and, you know, trying to lie about who you are. That's someone who doesn't really have confidence in their own identity. But if you know who you are and where you are in life, and that this is not where you're gonna remain, and you're open to truthfully expose that and, you know, explain your stance, then, you know, you should definitely be able to build a healthy relationship. Obviously, finance is an important factor. It's an important tool, so to speak. But it shouldn't, to me personally, cause you to base a, a, a judgment or expectations or dictate your decisions. I'm trying to find a way to put it in words, but it shouldn't dictate your decisions to the point where, oh, I don't want to talk to this person just because they're broke. You know what I mean? Because that definitely doesn't define the person. You know, you definitely want to look at the things that really truly matter, as far as, you know, if they truly are working towards something, if they have activity going on where they're building. And you can tell the difference between someone who, you know, has, you know, hope dreams and like kind of like, you know, fantasy dreams, like, oh, I want to be an aspiring dancer, and I don't see you in a dance studio ever, and I don't see you ever practicing, I don't see you making connections or building towards that. It's just something that you want to do, and you're not making any effort to get better. You're just staying at your mother's house. And, you know, there's a difference between that and someone who's actually actively pursuing a purpose or a goal. So, you know, I definitely do believe that those things have to be spoken about and transparent. I definitely do believe that, you know, whoever is in the party that may not be financially stable, that they need to have activity towards something, or working towards something that will, you know, eventually yield increase.
Okay, thank you. And what about you, Demetrius? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer is, and I think both of these gentlemen have said it. It's character, good character. It's that's really the main thing. It doesn't matter whether somebody has money or not. I mean, there's plenty of people that are high rolling and they have bad character. You know, they're direct opposite. I can find all kinds of men and women that are quote unquote successful in the global sense, but they are failures as people, as human beings. So the opposite is also true. Someone can have a character of gold and be poor and have nothing, and could need a little help from that person who says they have an interest. It could look bad on the person who says they have an interest, and there's a person that has a good character that may need some advice, that may need some input, that may need some help, and they just, you know, push the person aside because they don't have money. I mean, I wouldn't want that person to have that person either. You know what I mean? It's like, so I think, I mean, you know, I think what I was looking for in a wife, never was somebody that had money. That was never in I don't think I had a list in my mind of the characteristics that I was looking for exactly, but I know I was looking for good character. And I know that on the list was not somebody who's poor or doesn't have money, is not qualified to be. I mean, it's kind of, I don't want to use too strong of words, but it's kind of an arrogant statement to think that you're not going to be with someone because of the amount of money or the amount of material things that they have. It's a very shallow person, I think, that would simply look at someone and say, you don't have very much, so you're not worthy of me. So yeah, I don't even think that should be a factor. It should be all about the person's character, and it should be all about the worth of the human being. that in that, as everyone else has said, that the interest, the heart that the person has.
If I can add something quick, but I mean, one thing about finance, because we all need money. A relationship can't work without money. But like I was saying again, I mean, even after intimacy, we have to drink water. But I do believe the person you are with, the person that you're saying, dating and get to know someone is not the same thing. Because remember, if the person is broke, at first you don't know that until you start getting the person. So when you start getting to know the person, and then you start realizing, what the person is working at, and probably you financially might be stable and she's not stable. But like I said, once again, I mean, when you start getting to know each other, we are dating after we make plans, but the person have to be willing to tell you, hey, this is my dream, this is my goal, this is my vision. Because some people, they don't have dreams, they don't have goals, they don't have vision, they don't know what they want. And some people, you have to babysit them. And one more thing about some people, they are comfortable where they are. Because some people, they are afraid of challenges. Like being an entrepreneur is not something easy. It's something that comes with a lot of challenges. So, and I know some people, they don't want to go, they don't want to become an entrepreneur because they say, hey, I'm comfortable with my 9 to 5. They are comfortable with what they are making. And guess what? What they are making is not enough to support a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Example, if you have big plans, you have big dreams to travel the world, you have to buy expensive stuff, a 9 to 5 job is not enough for you. Example, if you want to buy a big mansion, you have the dream, but you're not putting efforts to get it done. So I don't believe, I mean, if I find myself in that position with someone where you have big dreams, but you're not taking actions, or you're not putting efforts to achieve your dream, I feel like, it will be a problem, because some men, they're not gonna struggle for you if you're not really putting efforts in to build something like two partners putting together to build something together. If it's not, I don't think it's going to work in the future. I mean, we're going to start, but I don't think we're going to be able to continue, in my opinion.
I kind of agree with Cadell. It depends on the couple, because the number one divorce rate is because of finance and lack of commitment. So if both of you guys are on the same alignment and both of you guys on the same agreement, then that's how you'll be able to know if the relationship is going to last, because finance actually plays a huge factor as far as staying married. So I kind of agree with you, Claudel, on that as well.
I want to throw one thought in about that, though. There are, because it really is based on the individuals, because there are a lot of successful marriages where the husband doesn't work and the wife does, or the wife works and the husband doesn't. I literally know people that have both scenarios, and they're working out just fine, because the finances don't necessarily have to come from both people. Someone's okay with working, someone's not okay with working, but in some situations, we have people that, like you said, there has to be compatibility in all kinds of ways. I mean, we're trying to summarize something in my opinion, in a simple manner, and it's difficult, but I do think that when you're married for a period of time, and when you have a relationship for a period of time, a lot of things come out. My wife and I, I'm just speaking personally, we've had lean times, we've had times where we've been doing well, and we've had times where we're not. And I've had times when I've been laid off from a company and it was brokenhearted, and she's pushed through. She's had times where she's had a recent time a few years ago when she pursued a PhD, and I was the one that was working. So it's kind of like a balance, maybe they're, you know what I mean? It's I don't think there's a set structure that things have to work a certain way. It depends on the number of things, I think, but that's me.
So Trent, I agree with you, but from my understanding, in your case, like if one of the partners choose not to work, I mean, example, if you're a millionaire, of course, you're going to have enough money to support your family. Now, I would ask you a question, even though I'm not the host. Let's example, you have a job where you're getting paid $17 and your wife is not working, and you have kids, you're struggling. So how would you feel in that situation where your wife is not working and you're not making enough to support the family, and your wife doesn't want to work? I mean, that's going to stress you out. That's going to drive you crazy, in my opinion.
And the number one thing that I mentioned earlier, which I would bring back up again, is the character. It's all about the character of the person. I mean, if they have good character, if they are a responsible person, then a responsible person isn't going to just in that person is a person that if you're gonna, if I mean, I knew what job my wife had before we got married. I knew the kind of person that she was. You know, like what you mentioned earlier, you get to know each other. You start finding out these characteristics.
Yeah,
So and then you choose eventually to commit to a lifelong relationship with this person based on your evaluation. Now,